Welcome back to the Whatnauts Reactor Core number 84. This is our reaction to She-Hulk, episode 5. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson.
Hello.
Melissa, how are you?
I am doing well. I hope you're having a good week.
So far, so good. I've been sipping on a 0 sugar, 0 caffeine Coca-Cola, and I feel empty inside.
It's got to have at least one of those two things. Otherwise, what is it?
Right?
They already took the cocaine out.
Emptiness.
What's left?
Yeah. Bring back the cocaine. That's what I say. We are here to talk about episode 5 of She-Hulk. We're about halfway through the show now. Things are getting exciting. What did you think of this one here?
I had fun with this one. I really liked how it fits into the structure and what it does to play off of what we've seen happen before. I really like the choices it made.
Yeah, interesting stuff indeed. I liked this one a lot. Wasn't my favorite of what we've gotten so far, but like I've expressed on the past 4 episodes, no, I guess we did a 1 and 2 combined. So past 3 episodes now, I really like this show. It was not exactly what I wanted, but it is fitting into a nice space within the MCU where it is not trying to be the next big thing. It's just doing its own thing and it's having fun because of it. And that's, I think, exactly what this one was. But like I said, not my favorite of the bunch. I was just a little less interested in this one, but I think it had some nice Easter eggs in there. One big one. I'm interested to see where this goes. It continues to drip feed some things of just like,
it does.
Interesting. Tell me more about this. What is that? Over here. So
we're still not exactly clear. We're kind of in the same boat we were with Miss Marvel, where we have several potential threats. We don't know what is the threat, what is the main villain of the season, and maybe we don't need one. But I like that we get to have a little space and time to figure that out. Past shows have felt a little rushed. And I like that this one, I heard somebody call this episode like not completely filler, but like a little fluffier than a normal episode. Sure, and I'm happy we get to have that space. A little fluff every once in a while is good.
It can be. Yeah. But like, that's also the thing. It's like, I don't like the way the show is structured. It's hard to really call this filler when the entire time it's been just ever so slowly drip feeding you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Like what is the actual end game of this? Is there a big bad? There might not be. It might just be a fun like case of the week sitcom show, and like that's okay. That's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But like I keep mentioning, there are these drips, these little hints at things here. One thing I was not expecting to see, at least so soon, is the return of Todd. We got Todd back here.
I was expecting
him like maybe next week or the week after.
Exactly.
But we got Todd a little more here. Thoughts on the return of Todd?
I was surprised that he was already in the law firm, that Jen sees him before she realizes, oh, if I bring out those parade of dates, then I've got something to solidify my identity as She-Hulk, which I really liked. I really liked that we had something that seemed like it was just character building in the previous episode that is part of an actual legal case this episode. I really hope that's something the show does again. I really like that continuity and the efficiency with which the show uses what it's been doing. But yeah, she sees Todd before she has that realization. So what exactly is he there for? Why is he a client? What is Todd's business
one of their
exactly?
major clients is what he said, which could just be him chalking himself up. He does seem to have this expressive personality that might talk himself up a little bit more than he actually is, right? But yeah, a major client of GLK&H. Interesting. I have no idea idea what he could be. Like, there is that speculation that maybe he's related to the leader, something like that. I just don't know. I'm not sure who he could be. I'm at a loss here for theories, kind of, which is a strange like place to be in for
right,
like,
you never are.
I'm the comic book nerd here, and I'm just like, I have no idea who this guy is.
You always have a theory, and I'm always like, I don't have the energy to think of a theory. If I wait 7 days, the next episode will tell me. Todd does have the energy of being a son, though. Like, he's got to have parents, at least one parent who's maybe some sort of big shot. I feel like there's some coattails he's riding. He just hasn't brought that name out yet. He hasn't said, "Do you know who my father is?" yet.
Yeah, that could be, because continuity and time scale of how far long ago everything happened, I don't know is as solid as we think it is, but in our time, that Incredible Hulk movie was 14 years ago, and I'm not sure where this is exactly in the MCU. We know the MCU is just slightly in the near future.
Yeah.
So there are some weird things there, but yeah, he could be the leader's kid. That guy, like, if he had a young kid at the time of that movie, he could be an adult. Now, that's an interesting thought for sure. But I'm, now more interested in who this Todd guy is. And it seems like he will be a recurring character. He did ask Jen out for more Jarinks, or he said that the next time they meet, Jarinks would be on him. And like they said in the show, she just kind of rolled over and was just like, yes, absolutely, let's catch up, when she does not care about this guy whatsoever. But he's an enigma. He's an interesting character right now.
What I liked most about this episode was the chance to spend time with the other people at GLK and H. We finally got a good amount of Mallory Book in this episode. I liked her interactions with Jen.
Just about to be like, what's her name in this here again? Mallory Book. What did you think about her?
I liked her. I think it's an appropriate pace for the person who's initially cold to slowly warm up to the protagonist. I like that they are starting to get closer. But Mallory just still isn't impressed with Jin yet. She's empathetic to Jin, but I think she wants to see a higher level of professionalism from her, maybe. The part where she's like, you need to get better clothes. Like, please stop wearing men's warehouse suits.
Right.
Like, not that the problem is the masculine suits, but like
smaller. And she just has that like giant suit looking like Ant-Man with his like giant sweatshirt.
Yeah. Like, the problem isn't like the masculine suits. The fact that like clearly nothing is tailored for her, even when she is in She-Hulk form. Like, everything has to be like big enough to fit She-Hulk, but not so big that it literally falls off of Jen. Like, she's just a broomstick.
Right.
Like, you get the struggle she's in, but I like that at this point in the series, characters are like, you can't keep doing that. Like, this is permanent. You're She-Hulk forever. You need to get like really good She-Hulk clothes. We're doing it for you, Jen. We're not going to abide by this anymore. You deserve better. You deserve like clothes you like that will fit you well at any time.
Yeah. I liked her inclusion because it was that thing of like, they're on the same team. And I think she recognizes that like they both work for the same company. Right. But then it like there's that line where it's like, oh, I'm so glad we can be friends. And she's just like, yeah, OK, whatever. And so, yeah, there is this like it's not. I mean, I'm wondering if the show is going to play it up more as a competition between the two rather than, because I think in the comics it was more antagonistic of like, I don't like you and you're up to something like that kind of thing from what I understand. But I'm wondering if it is more of a like competition between the two. Is that maybe she thought that she should have been the face of the superhuman law division and is now not, and is maybe playing second fiddle or something like that. I would like to see more of her there.
Yeah.
'Cause
Last
that was
week
good.
I was talking about how I wanted more Pug, and this episode delivered. And I'm really happy that in addition to him being like a love interest for Jen coming along down the road, I think that we get to see is just friendship with Nikki. That was so delightful just to see how those two characters play off of each other as just like office friends.
Yeah, he's an interesting one to me because he is at least the way the show has portrayed him so far, he is the kind of like stereotypical bro that has made it into this law firm and probably rightly so, not to be like, how did he make it there? But like,
No,
he still has that like, right, he still has that like bro attitude of like the sneakerhead, like, yes, bro, let's go get like the fist bump.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain like swagger about him that he has in this that is interesting to see in the mix with these other women. And the way that, him and Nikki are playing off one another is interesting to see. And they're a lot of fun. Like, I feel like they are like, I'm not sure how long they've been coworkers, but like, he seems cool. Like, there's this like coolness about him, despite the like, I don't really like the broiness of like, I'm not into the same stuff as you would be. I understand that, but there's something about you that's cool. Like, I want to hang out with you and spend time with you, right?
Right. Yeah. He's very charismatic. He seems like he's very friendly and supportive. He treats his friends well. I like that he's like prepared to know Nikki's going to demand something in return from him for this request. And I like that when she's like, what do you mean you need two pairs of shoes? He's like, one to rock and one to stock. And she's like, you wear one pair of shoes and then you buy a second pair just to look at? I respect that. It's so, I like that she's not making fun of him. I like that she thinks it's strange, but then like Nikki's got so many like fantabulous, like kind of over the top outfits. I like that she understands that. She's like, yeah, I would do that. I do want clothes I purely look at that I will never ruin. I understand. I'm with you on this.
Just in a way that like women's fashion works, which I know nothing about, but like women are more often like they will buy an outfit for a specific event.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. They might get to wear it sometime down the road, hopefully, right? But that's kind of it. Whereas guys don't really do that. And like the whole like sneaker collecting is oddly similar. Like, yes, I will buy these shoes to like wear at a certain event or wear to a certain thing, but like maybe I'll buy a second pair just to keep them in the box and keep them clean there. And there's this like odd connection between them because of that. And we get a strange parallel to the power broker here in this one.
I love the drip broker. Yes.
The drip broker. I love it. And they go to this boba cafe and he's like, Alonzo sent me. And he's just like, this is a boba cafe. Like, what do you want? But yeah, he takes him in the back where he has his side hustle and he sells this Avengers. It's all the like knockoff, like
I love it
stuff. Great, amazing.
First off, is this drip in the MCU universe? I don't know. Who's to say? But I think it's very funny. I like that there's like a beach towel or something hung up in his secret closet that's Hulk, but he's Borat. Like he's got the mustache and like the really deep like unitard thing for walking around on the beach. I would like an Avengers shirt. I like that it comes with every vowel Avengers.
He has all of the different knockoffs. I like that this is probably just like an unfortunate accepted side hustle to keep hit like the actual drip broker like so secretive, right? He wants to employ this guy to like, you need to like vet these people first, but he's like, all right, but only if I can sell my knockoff stuff to them first. And he's just like, all right, fine, whatever. Right. And like, I do think they had a missed opportunity to say Avengers assemble in this one. When he was like, well, you have to buy the matching hat. And she goes, yes, fine. I'll take the whole ensemble.
Yeah,
like,
the Avengers ensemble.
Right, you say, fine, Avengers assemble, or something like that. How great would that be? That would be amazing. I would have laughed out loud. I was maybe like, missed opportunity.
Well, maybe that's episode 9. Maybe we're taking a long, slow pitch up to Avengers ensemble.
Right, she got kicked out of the Avengers, but she made it in the Avengers. Goodness. But yeah, that whole thing is neat. I like that is one thing that is it's not ignored in superhero stuff. It is explored that there are these characters that create the suits and the costumes and the outfits that they make. It's still one that I've not gotten tired of. I want to see more. Right. Like, who are these people?
It's fun every time. Yes. And sometimes you get the ones like sometimes you get them, then they're very techie, like just Tony Stark making his suits and having the thing in the planes that like Peter Parker can make a new suit, where it's like very, very fashionable. There's a whole gamut that you can run when it comes to designing superhero clothes. I'm fascinated by this new character. I think his name's Luke. Like, there's these beautiful like ball gowns in the fashion studio. Who are those for? Why were those made? Like, you can look at him and like say like, then maybe that kind of reminds me of Mighty Thor, but like, when would he have made this? Why did that happen? Like, you can kind of tell what the aesthetic inspirations are, but it's like, did somebody commission him to do that? Who ordered this? What is it for? Why is it sitting here? When will I see it again? How did he get into this? What did he do before? What are his connections? Like, who came to him? Did he reach out? Was he like, Natasha Romanoff, I must design for you?
No capes. I'm wondering if there's some Easter eggs that I missed or just don't know, like some obscure ones, like they had the outfit of some like famous She-Hulk villain that I don't know about up there. But yeah, we also what's interesting about this show is we're starting to get a little bit more of the look of like celebrity culture within the MCU and how the public perceives them. We might get a little bit more of that in the Wonder Man show when it does its take on Hollywood. That's something that we still don't really know much about. Are members of the Avengers going to the Met Gala? Are they going to the Oscars? Like, is that why this guy is designing these extravagant costumes and stuff like that?
Now you've got me thinking, like, what celebrity things are the Avengers asked to do? Like, has Hawkeye needed to go on Hollywood Squares? What game shows have they been on?
Exactly. And next up, The Abomination on Oprah. right? Like,
somebody needs to open a car dealership.
I mean, we do know Captain America did those like school videos. So,
oh my God,
you've got detention, right? Like there has to be more of that stuff out there that we just don't know about yet, which would be fun to explore.
Really awkward PSAs where Bruce Banner has to tell kids to recycle. I gotta see it.
Right. Or like wear your seat belt because you don't want to smash your car or your skull.
or your hands. Although crushing my hands led me to become a wizard. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. Don't do what I did.
Yeah, exactly. There's all sorts of that. But that led to a big Easter egg that we saw in this one here. He's like, all right, we got this next one. It's ready for pickup. And they look in this like hat box.
This is beyond Easter egg.
And
this is a whole rabbit, Kyle.
Daredevil's cowl, which is interesting.
So glamorous.
Because Daredevil had a person in the Netflix show. Now, I don't remember that guy's fate in there. I want to say he's no longer alive in there, so he might have needed to go to someone new. If he's not, I'm kind of disappointed that they switched, because I liked that guy. He was cool. But yeah, like that must like but it's also a real similar design. Like it's not too far off. So I'm wondering if he was like, all right, same basic design, but like you can do your thing on this guy. And he's like, let's make it yellow, right?
Yeah, it's sort of gold. And like I've seen it in the trailers and I'm like, that seems a little ostentatious for Daredevil. But now that we've met this fashion designer, I'm like, I see why this is gold. This seems like a guy who would want to make it gold.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm excited to see Daredevil come in the show. I think we've mentioned him on almost every reaction we've done of just like, I wonder when he's showing up here. But did the way they introduced it, did that read to you like maybe this would kind of be the end game of the show? Is that maybe she will be going against or representing Kingpin, or like is that the end game of the show, or did that read to you as, oh, next week on She-Hulk, it's Daredevil?
I'm not sure. We aren't sure yet if this is Daredevil's a major player in whatever the culmination, the climax of the series is going to be, or if we get the Daredevil episode. He's here for 1 week. And we don't know why he's there. Maybe he's here in town specifically because this is the best superhero clothing designer out there, and he's like, I got to fly out to LA for this outfit I commissioned. Or maybe he does hear of crime to fight. Or maybe he's there on legal business. He's just there for a law conference. There's a million different things. Maybe he's on vacation. Nobody just theorized that Matt Murdock takes a nice trip to the beach. He deserves it, okay? He can do it. We're putting all these big important things on him. Maybe he's like, I just want to go to feel the sand between my toes. Yeah. California sand, not East Coast sand. That's why he's there.
There's an X-Men podcast called Jay and Miles Explain the X-Men.
Oh, yes.
And one of my favorite things that I know Jay often does is they will get like comic book creators to do commissions, and the prompt that they give them is Cyclops has a good day. Just like, what is that? What does that look like? And this reminds me of that. Like, well, yeah, what if he is just on vacation? Like, I'm just going to go to the beach in California. Why not? Like, I've had a stressful life, all that stuff. Let me just get away for a week. And while I'm out here, buy a new hat, right? Buy a new suit.
New hat. I want to know what civilian clothes he's buying. I want to see like the souvenir t-shirt that Matt Murdock purchases for himself, Matt Murdock, and not Daredevil, the crime fighter.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Man, what else? So we kind of breezed over the actual case that is happening here. Titania is suing She-Hulk over the use of She-Hulk by Titania. She has a new line of beauty products to help enhance you and make you stronger, and the booty bump smoothie. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but
I like that our commercials are just beauty is strength. Strength is beauty. Sure. It's very Zoolander. I like that it's not a real commercial.
It's interesting, but this is like this is the kind of influencer that I do not like at all. It's like, Titania. I would hate Titania in real life. Of just this. Let's take every opportunity to see how we can just get rich. Like, oh, she hasn't trademarked to that name yet. Let's trademark it and put out products and then sue her, right? God, it just the kind of like legal court cases that I'm just like, oh my God, this is awful. I don't want to deal with this. But it makes it makes so much sense for the show. I like that this is being included for the show because that's how they react. Like her boss at the law firm is just like, now we're wrapped up in this like nonsense court case. Like, this is stupid. Go fix it, right? Like,
we have to talk about Titania, but I have to talk about this boss. Every time we see him, there's something off about him. And I don't know if he's just supposed to be like this sort of checked out guy who's like the figurehead of this company, but maybe like isn't really super invested or like very emotional at all about like his staff, his clients, his cases or whatever. But something about him feels so strange. He doesn't act the way any other human acts. And he's setting off my scroll radar.
Right?
Yeah. He's at the top of my list for scrolls.
Maybe. It's especially his reaction to watching She-Hulk twerking in her office. Just like, huh, okay.
Right.
And just walks away.
What an odd guy.
We shall see. But Titania, what did you think of the court case specifically?
It begs the question, was Hulk not trademarked? What is the status of just the name Hulk? Why did that not enter into this discussion at any point?
Interesting. Yeah. That also brings up kind of an interesting fun fact about She-Hulk, is that Marvel created her so that CBS would not get the copyright. They were already producing the Hulk television show, and if I'm not mistaken, CBS had the Bionic Woman or something like that, and they were like, hopefully they don't like introduce a similar character and trademark it She-Hulk. So they just like went ahead and was like, just make a She-Hulk comic because that way we have the trademark and stuff like that. And that's how she came to be. So it's kind of interesting now that like there is like a legal court case about, hey, someone trademarked this before you, but what's going on here? So that is interesting. But she does also be like, well, did Doctor Strange trademark his name? Did Thor trademark his name? And she responds of just like, well, those are their actual names.
Right. So. She's like, you picked the two superheroes who use their real names.
Right,
I love the continual running joke of how preposterous a human named Dr. Stephen Strange is. I'll never get tired of it.
Oh, we're using our fake names, huh? our made up names. Yeah. I love that she solves it by having to just humiliate herself. Right. I'm just like, let me just a train of all the guys I've dated and the time that they had with me. Was it a good date? Was it a bad date? Who knows? They'll say. We'll find out. It's going to be embarrassing.
Like I said, I really like it structurally that this thing that would happen in the previous episode served its purpose in that episode and gets to be used again for this episode is very inventive. And whatever that doctor is that she slept with, the main guy, I forget his name. I do appreciate that he admits Jen just isn't my type. I really liked She-Hulk. Jen wasn't my type. And he sort of gives her this look like, I'm sorry things didn't work out. Like I feel like they could have easily made that guy so much more of a jerk. And I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that he's like, I just don't care for Jen very much. Yeah. He's not like, he doesn't call her ugly. Like, he's not angry when she changes back. I just appreciate the restraint there.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an interesting, well, I was about to say he's an interesting mirror to Pug, but I don't know if that's the case, but he is the like gym guy, super buff. probably why he was into She-Hulk, right? But then, yeah, when he sees Jen, who's just kind of this like goofy, super tiny girl, he's just like, yeah, sorry, like you seem super nice, but I like just not what I'm looking for. And he has this nice way about him. He was interested, like the line delivery from him, maybe not the best in my opinion, but he was like, yeah, tell me more about how you feel. Like he was actually interested in her emotions and was trying to actually form a connection. Which is, I think, also stereotypically something you don't see a lot from the bro dude gym rat workout guy. I'm just like, well, how much do you lift, right?
Well, he's also, I feel like, also
bears can you shotgun?
Introducing the fact that character is a pediatric oncologist, I think, really, like, whenever you look at him, you're like, he has to tell little kids that they have cancer. Like, it's okay. Yeah. Like, let him go after the big green lady he wants to sleep with to get some peace at night.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I hope he comes back. I hope this is not the last we've seen of him. I hope that somehow, some way down the road, they can be friends or something. Yes.
I would like a third beat with that character. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Titania a little bit and how it's still unclear exactly who is this lady, where did she come from, why is she strong. I'm sure that there's a comics origin story for this, but I don't think we've gotten any hints to that in this show yet, and I'm curious when they're going to fill out that backstory of, okay, exactly why is this lady who she is. There's so many different ways you can get powers like that in this world. Right. Which one is hers? What's her story?
Yeah, it would be interesting. And I'm also wondering if Titania is even behind the wrecking crew coming after Jen in some way to get her to, like, right, because immediately after she got attacked is when she got served these papers, right, of like, hey, we're suing you for the, so maybe she was hoping to scare her in from using her powers or using that name She-Hulk. That would make more sense than the later who's hyper intelligent, and Titania's more of a scheming and not necessarily thinking it all the way through, right? I'm wondering if there is some kind of totem, if there is some kind of thing that gives her powers, because that's how the wrecking crew, like they got their weapons that are powered up, right? They weren't, at least from what we've seen so far, they weren't necessarily powered individuals. It was just they had powered weapons. So I don't know. I would be interested to see more of her backstory here.
Yeah, she's just such a literally strong and also just sort of like a bold, unusual character. And the fact that she's just such a known quantity in this world. Like, nobody has to explain Titania to anyone else.
Right? Just like, oh, Titania. Yeah. I'd follow her.
I really want somebody like has to explain it to Jen's dad or somebody. Give me the origin story on her.
Last but not least, I love that Jen's cousin, I forget his name, the one that
Ched.
she like, Ched.
Not Ched. You're right, not Chet, not Chad. Ched
has become like a Mary Kay, like salesman of the Shield. Like, thinks it like wholeheartedly, just like, I need to support Jen in this new life venture for her, right? Like, she is She-Hulk. I'll sign up. I'll sell She-Hulk.
All this stuff. Like, he saw that it was selling, and I think he's a reseller. Like, he bought everything to resell it. And then he's like, Jen, sign it. They'll buy it more if it's autographed. I think he's like, oh boy, I can make money off of this. And I've got the inside scoop because it's my cousin. I can just walk into her house and get her to sign things.
Exactly. Either it is a more legitimate thing, and I say legitimate, like those like Mary Kay like reseller pyramid scheme stuff like that. I could see him getting into that. I could see Titania setting that stuff up, right, to in her get rich quick scheme. But then I think I can also just see him just buying a whole case of that stuff on his own and being like, if she signs it, I can sell it on eBay and like,
yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that detail was hilarious. And at the start when she's just like, it's not me, has nothing to do with me. And then it's just screaming in the piano. Ah! It was fantastic. I liked the S1. Like I said, not my favorite, but I'm still having fun with this show. It's good.
You need to say that 3 times. It's
I'm just bringing it full circle. I'm done. That's it. From what I said at the start to now at the end, in conclusion, there you go. Do you have final thoughts on She-Hulk?
It's fun. I thought this one was really fun. I like the choices it made. I like the little how we got to see characters advance in ways that we weren't expecting. I'm excited for whatever is next, whether it's Daredevil or whatever that event is we've seen in the trailers where she's all dressed up and she gets out of a limo. I don't know what that is.
Right, yeah.
We've got no hints to whatever that could be.
Exactly.
A lot going on. I like that at the end of every episode, we're like, okay, there's still like things on our list we know we're looking forward to.
Indeed. Well, that being said, that about wraps us up for our reaction to episode 5 of She-Hulk. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WilkyWit. That's WilkyWit. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities.
And you guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer. And of course, if you would like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at The Whatnauts, we are at The Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. D23 was this past weekend, so we have a bunch of trailers that we reacted to. You can find one of them over there on that side. But this has been number 84 of the Whatnauts Reactor Core. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.